It's not an easy life, and to try and defend yourself against an imaginary allegation is impossible to do. We weren't committing a crime. We were a licensed cannabis cooperative. We tried to get the signature off the paperwork. It was illegible, and he didn't put his bar association number on there, on the final verdict, which we found also troubling, which made it so. The short of that, we have had no legal activity or retrieval of our property since we appealed their action, and they have been unresponsive to it for almost a year now. In March, it'll be a year. So we filed a default motion judgment in Superior Court, Mount Vernon, a couple weeks ago. And Moody, the guy that should be representing me on these things, got a contact from Mr. Weyrich, and he emailed me saying, "What are these gobbledygook motions about? They're not going to help you." And I responded in a long email chain. He won't answer his phone. He won't talk to me, but he'll force me, who am dyslexic and I can't spell and I can't type, he'll only email conversation with me. So I can't, he's taken $8,000 of our money, won't talk to us on the phone. How can he defend us in a court of law? How can he help us at all? This is a traumatic experience for me that causes me a lot of anxiety, sleepless nights, and when I do sleep, it's terrible. It wakes me up constantly. We have an appeal. We have a case where we weren't charged with any crimes, but Mr. Weyrich of the Skagit Valley Prosecutor's Office came into our house, took all of our property, evicted us from our two properties because he said we were bad people. And he lied to a judge to get these search warrant and get this legal mechanism rolling by stating because he is friends with this judge. And without this friendly search warrant, I wouldn't have had any of my properties seized, and we would have had a criminal investigation into the 5 burglaries. But he got a friendly judge who gave him a search warrant that he knew he would never get past just coming and seizing our property. And once they seize your property, it's your responsibility to prove that you weren't committing a crime. Well, we weren't committing a crime. They made baseless allegations, and then when we got them in court, they said that we were only thinking of committing a crime, and that's why they got to keep our stuff. We appealed that. We don't think that thinking about a crime is how this works here. We weren't committing a crime. We were a licensed cannabis cooperative with people that have cancer, rare heart conditions, and rare autoimmune diseases, which less than 300 people on the planet have. Spend over 100 days a year in doctor's offices or hospitals. It's not an easy life, and to try and defend yourself against an imaginary allegation is impossible to do. We're not attorneys. We're not lawyers. We're people that are in hospitals and in assisted living situations. We don't have money to go after people that are trying to criminalize us because we're different, and we need cannabis to live and have a better quality of life. We're not criminals. The criminals were the ones that stole our property. And then when we filed those complaints, the prosecution said we were doing the crime and seized all of our stuff.